Okay, so continuing with the World Cup. Apologies for no videos yesterday. As I say, that I do have a full-time job, so the ability to watch every game is not going to happen in this World Cup as in previous tournaments. Now, Portugal-Ghana, the game I was able to watch this evening. Or in other words, wished I didn't watch for 65 minutes because it was actually sending me to an early night's sleep. The first 65 minutes of this match was atrocious, absolutely shocking. It's like neither side were really interested. There's no energy. It was painful. And then the penalty comes, and then it was like neither side wanted to defend. I can't see Portugal or Ghana going very far in this tournament, if I'm being brutally honest. And yes, they've got some very, very good technical and good attacking and exciting young players. They've also got some good veteran players, like the Ayew brothers for Ghana, for example. Cristiano Ronaldo can still have moments of brilliance, but like you've got Bernardo Silva, who's a very, very good player. But some of the performances tonight were dreadful. And how it's finished 3-2 to Portugal is quite simply beyond me. This was not a very good game. And then in right at the end, I don't know what the Portuguese goalkeeper's doing, but it almost was a 3-3. I have no idea what the goalkeeper's doing right at the end. It's like it was like the game was meant to be a draw, a scoring draw. It was a bizarre game, but the penalty comes on 65 minutes. And between 65 minutes and the full-time whistle, there was a bit of entertainment. The game came to life. Defensively, both teams were shambolic. I have nothing else to say on that. Yes, Ronaldo slots the penalty, so he's not only the youngest player ever to score for Portugal, he's also the eldest player to ever score for Portugal at a World Cup, so he bookends those two records. But it doesn't take long for Andre Ayew to score a goal in 73 minutes with Ghana's first proper meaningful attack. And it's really just, there's no intensity in defence. And they're not paying attention. And Andre Ayew is a very lethal sniper if he wants to be. He's not a consistent enough goal scorer to be like world class, but he's a good player. And he's just allowed space in the box to. It's not even the best finish. It's a scrappy finish, but it's a tap-in finish, and that shouldn't be scored. The defending is absolutely atrocious. And then as soon as Ghana scored, and you think, oh, actually we might have a bit of entertainment here. João Felix scores his goal in 78 minutes, and to be honest, it's actually quite a good goal. And for the finish and the quick pace counter attack, I don't know what Ghana are doing, but that's just sloppy play in the midfield. There's no intensity in that passing. It's a really poor square pass across the field. 1, 2, 3 passes, bang! It's at João Felix's feet. It's a brilliant finish. Past the goalkeeper in 78 minutes. So suddenly the game's come to life in a very short spell. There's a bit of action, and the defensive, the lack of intensity by both sides in periods was just head scratching. Like, how can you just like get into the game and then switch off like that? There was no intensity and focus. It was a sloppy game. It was appalling. But then Rafael Leao's goal in 87 minutes was fantastic as a finish. But Ghana were hopeless defensively. There's no pressure on the player. There's no pressure on the runners. They're just backing off. There's no intensity in defence from Ghana. So Ghana defensively are a shambles, absolute shambles. And for once, I agree with a FIFA world ranking. This Ghana team are crap defensively. They struggled in the Africa Cup of Nations, and the Africa Cup of Nations didn't fill me with a lot of hope that the African nations will do well in this World Cup. And for all they say, there will be an African winner of a World Cup at some point. Rewatch the Africa Cup of Nations. That was an atrocious tournament, and so far Ghana have scored the only 2 goals by African teams at this World Cup. And they're 3-1 down, and then Bakari's goal. I don't know what is happening in defence. They're not paying attention. Portugal make the same sloppy errors that Ghana do. There's no intensity. There's no focus. There's no communication. There is absolutely no energy there. It's just like neither side were really interested in a high energy, high quality performance. So it becomes 3-2, and it's a good finish. It is a good finish, a good cross in, good finish. But there's no attempt to shut the cross down. There's no attempt to track the runner. There's no attempt to put pressure on the player in possession. There's no attempt to put pressure on the player's movement. And it's just These are basic things. Willingness, energy, competitive. There's none of it. Um, and then right in added time, I don't know what the Portuguese goalkeeper was doing right at the end, but it's bizarre. It is almost if they're attempting to get a 3-3 draw. It's just this is possibly, alongside the Qatari performance that I watched on opening night, and Qatar were absolutely hopeless. This has got to be one of the most bizarre and quite honestly low quality matches at this tournament so far. I was expecting some low energy performances because it's a mid season World Cup, and I was expecting some tired performances, but there was a lack of willingness and there was a lack of attention, professionalism to a certain extent. I was not happy with the performances of either side. And that's on a technical standpoint. That's breaking down things. The goals themselves are entertaining because it's a lot of calamity of errors in there. And so, on that regard, mistakes create excitement. They create open games. But if you are a fan of Ghana or even a fan of Portugal, you are going to be, or even if someone who actually does, a bit of coaching for the under 11s on a weekend, like on a Sunday league, or if you're a school coach, you'll be trying to drill into your students, so to speak. Intensity, teamwork, communication. There didn't seem to be a lot of that. And there was a bit of spice towards the end as well. There was a couple of little flare-ups towards the end. Danilo and Aki Williams getting booked. The referee nearly lost control of that situation. And we've seen those situations really escalate. Inaki Williams had a poor game. Ronaldo, apart from the penalty and a few little flashes, didn't really do much. Bernardo Silva, Canelo, some of these players really flattered to deceive. So there we go. It's a bit more of a ranty video. I wasn't happy with a lot of the lack of effort, I think. And as I said, I can't see Portugal or Ghana progressing far in this tournament. I can't see them troubling, let's say, the quarterfinals, semi-finals, final stages of the tournament. I think, yes, Portugal get the win, which helps. They scored 3 goals. They've sloppily conceded 2. Ghana have proven that in front of goal. Yeah, they can score. They can create a little bit. They can't defend. And better, more focused sides, more intense sides, more committed sides will hammer these two, quite frankly, because that sloppiness, lack of intensity, lack of focus is just not good enough at this level if you want to win. And if Ghana's meant to be one of the best nations in Africa and Portugal are meant to be one of the most consistent nations in Europe, on that performance, it was like watching mid-season, mid-league table clash at club level in League One. It was not good enough. So there we go. Thank you very much for watching. Place your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll have some more videos for you very, very soon.